lay down and found Isaiah's body inside. The Bible talks a great deal about the prophecies of Isaiah alayhi salam and how he foretold the coming of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which, of course, we'll go over that when we talk about Muhammad next week. The book of Isaiah is full of prophecies, and although some have been altered over time, we can see clear descriptions of the coming of Jesus alayhi salam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and even specific events that happened during their prophecies. Likewise, Isaiah alayhi salam was given the ability to direct those who would defend well against enemies, and was shown battles long before they happened. So while Isaiah did not necessarily have a dual portion of work, because he lived with a king who loved him and did not attack him, it can be argued that he had a dual portion of blessings in this world and in the next. The next in line of possible personalities for Dhul Kifl is Gautama Buddha. This is a controversial statement to make, but really the core teachings of Gautama Buddha are consistent with the spirit of the laws of Islam. The eightfold measures living that Buddhists call the Noble Eightfold Path would be recognized by Muslims as the common nature of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Buddha taught that we should have 1. A right view. The right way to think about life is to see the world with wisdom and compassion. 2. The right thought. We are what we think. Clear and kind thoughts build good, strong characters. 3. Right speech. By speaking kind and helpful words, we are respected and trusted by everyone. 4. Right conduct. No matter what we say, others know us from the way that we behave. Before we criticize others, we should first see what we do ourselves. 5. Right livelihood. This means choosing a job that does not hurt others. Buddha said, "Do not earn your living by harming others. Do not seek happiness by making others unhappy." 6. A right effort. A worthwhile life means doing our best at all times and having goodwill toward others. This also means not wasting an effort on things that harm ourselves and others. 7 is right mindfulness. This means being aware of our thoughts and words and deeds. And lastly, number 8 is right concentration, focusing on one thought or object at a time, so that by doing this, we can be quiet and attain true peace of mind. Now, does any of that contradict with the teachings of Islam? Not really. Do the teachings of Islam uphold those 8 principles? Yes. So because of this and many other teachings which one can look to for thought-provoking ways of doing so, it is likely that much of the original teachings, specifically those geared toward the worship of one God, have been lost forever in a society that has a tradition as old as time of worshiping ancestors. However, it is probable that Gautama Buddha, at his origin, was a prophet of Allah, and that his teachings became distorted, much like the teachings of Isa alayhi salam had become distorted by people like Paul and the Catholic Church and others. Finally, we come to the most controversial idea, and this is one that I have to admit I have a hard time swallowing, but I have to also bear witness to the truth that Hindu writings do refer specifically to the Prophet Muhammad. So the controversial idea is the concept that Dhul Kifl was actually Lord Krishna of the Hindu religion. It's been said by the wisest of Hindu scholars that the thousands and 10,000s of gods are in fact one. In this way, the Hindus at several points have tried to establish that there are no separate gods, merely aspects or names of the one God. Some fragments of the original teachings must still remain at the heart of Hinduism because of this. The teachings seem to speak the words of Allah, stating the concept of the oneness of God and that Allah existed before all things. The teachings go on to refer to evil in the form of a serpent which was cast down from the heavens, and beyond that, the origin story of Hinduism is very different from what we see in other religions. The oldest texts, however, do tell of the coming of Jesus and Muhammad, and it is well known that Jesus alayhi salam is referred to as an avatar of Vishnu in this religion. Now, it should be clarified that avatars of Vishnu, and Vishnu again is the name for Hindus for the one God, for the chief God in their religion. They define avatars the way that we define prophets. So the fact that they identify Isa alayhi salam and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and others as prophets because they were prophesied in some of their oldest texts, I think it does give us all something to think about the unity that all religions may have in their origins. Again, this does not mean that Hinduism is the right path now, as obviously it's been very distorted over many centuries. Moving on, though, we should look at some other prophets that are talked about in the Bible that are not mentioned in the Qur'an by name. These are agreed upon by scholars such as Ibn Kathir to be prophets of Allah. The prophet Jeremiah was sent to the people of Israel in order to bring them back to Allah. He was sent with a warning that if they did not turn to worship Allah, He would be unable to protect them from the cruel tyrants which would come. The people would not listen, and they were overrun with evil kings for generations. Jeremiah alayhi salam was the messenger who warned of the evil king Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel alayhi salam is best known for being spared while placed in the lion's den. Allah shut the mouths of the lions and prevented them from eating His messenger. Daniel was sent during the terrible reign of Nebuchadnezzar and tried desperately to bring Israel back to Allah.